Becoming a better version of yourself isn't as hard as everyone says it is. If you can commit to learning a new skill in 2025, you're going to become a completely unrecognizable version of yourself. Honestly, trying to learn a new skill every few months is one of the biggest reasons why I'm married to the love of my life now. It's one of the reasons why I've built a successful business in video editing and I don't have to work a 9-to-5 job. And it also plays a massive part in why I feel generally happy and fulfilled in life right now. It's all because of skills. So today I'm going to run you through the very best skills to learn in 2025 to become a more attractive, interesting, and exciting version of yourself. Let's get into it. Now, before we begin, these skills are purely just my opinion and the skills that I've learned that have really helped me in my life. Just pick the ones that stand out to you. Don't try and learn 2, 3, or 4 of them all at once because it's going to be really overwhelming. You're going to have way more success in mastering a skill or getting a skill to a very high standard that will be very attractive to others by taking it one at a time. So the first skill I have to put on here is cooking. It's a massive part why I'm married to the love of my life now. Before my wife was even my girlfriend, I took her out on a date. For the second date, I was like, I want to stand out to her and do something special. So I knew a recipe to make a noodle dish off the top of my head. And I invited her over and cooked her this dinner and she loved it. She always talks about that date being really meaningful to her and a big reason why she was attracted to me and why she wanted to keep seeing me. And the reason why cooking is such an attractive skill is because it has such utility behind it. We all need to eat food to survive. You're providing an element of someone's survival. And if you do it well and you make delicious food, that's even better. Also, this is probably one of the easiest skills to learn. Yes, there'll be a few skills within the skill of cooking that might be a bit tricky, but once you get the hang of the absolute basics, everything becomes much easier. Not to mention, we live in the perfect knowledge age where any recipe you can think of is online. So if you need a 10-minute recipe, you can literally Google that or go onto YouTube or even TikTok. And if you want to go a bit more old school, you can get some great cooking books for really cheap on places like Amazon or your local bookstore. They just take out a little bit of that willpower required to cook when you've got a cookbook there or a load of recipes bookmarked on your internet browser. The second skill is Conversational Skills. An amazing book to read all about this is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. You've probably heard of it. Yes, it probably gets overhyped a little bit too much. It's a really good reminder of some core skills and ways to actually get on the right side of people instead of the wrong side in a non-manipulative way, should I say. Also, I heard someone say the other day, your net worth is your network. Yes, it sounds a little bit like those cringy business Instagram pages like keep hustling, man. But it is true, honestly. I can safely say that in any industry, your network is your net worth. Especially as an actor, I have quite a few actor friends who are doing so well in their career right now, and it's because they have an amazing network of directors, casting directors, producers, and good conversation skills are the absolute backbone of making new friends, meeting new people, but also maintaining really strong and tight relationships with your loved ones. The third skill that is essential, and that is goal setting. Listen to this clip from Arnold.
The first rule of success is to have a vision. You see, if you don't have a vision of where you go, and if you don't have a goal where you go, you drift around and you never end up anywhere.
He is completely right when he's saying this. You can probably remember some moments in your life, and you might be experiencing it right now, where you haven't set a goal in your life, and it does feel like you're kind of just in the middle of nowhere, wandering around. Life is kind of dull and boring and maybe depressing. Well, 1, setting goals completely changes that, but 2, by setting goals, you're also achieving new skills, new things, and becoming a better version of yourself. And I don't know about you, but when I'm on my deathbed, I want to look back on a life well lived where I've really tried to achieve some good goals in my life. And even if you fail, it doesn't matter because you will have learned so much more than if you didn't try to begin with. And goal setting can literally make the difference between you sort of being in a really bad place in your life as opposed to being in an amazing place in your life. If you're watching this video, you're probably a very highly ambitious person who just doesn't know how to get there. So goal setting is one of the best ways to do this. While I've always set goals in my life, I haven't been very good at achieving them. I haven't been very good at taking the action required to actually achieve the goal. It's so easy to sit down and go, yeah, I want to do this, I want to become that, I want to get this car. But actually taking the action to achieve the goal is things way harder. So the solution I found for this is the book, The 12-Week Year. The 12-week year basically completely crushes the idea that goals have to be achieved in 12 months, and like the title states, they can be achieved in 12 weeks instead. And the author of the book gives you a really strong system to actually take the daily action required to achieving the 1 to 3 goals you've set by the end of the 12 weeks. And the amazing thing about it is that even if you achieve only 1 or 2 of those goals, you've still done it in such a short space of time, and then you can just forget about it if it went badly and move on to the next 12 weeks. Not only that, but by the end of 12 months of a year, you're going to have these different 12-week blocks that you've just achieved so much in. Goal setting is vital. The 4th super attractive skill is reading. Now, imagine you found a magic lamp on the ground, just like Aladdin, and you give it a rub and out pops a genie. And the genie says to you, "Hello, mate. All right," I don't know why he's British. He says, "I'll give you 3 wishes. You can wish for whatever you want." But the smart thing to do would be to wish for 10,000 more wishes. Thank you for sticking with that really weird analogy. What I'm trying to say is that reading is like having a really cool genie that lets you use one of your wishes to wish for 10,000 more wishes, right? That's what reading is. You're watching this video because you want to learn skills that are going to make you more attractive. Well, no YouTube video on planet Earth will ever teach you as much as reading will. And non-fiction books are great to learn, but there's also beauty in reading fiction books as well. People think that fiction books aren't good for learning new things about life, and that is completely untrue. So many fiction authors have put in lessons that they've learned in their life into their fictional stories, into their fictional books. So you can learn a great deal from any kind of reading. But the amazing thing about reading, say it's like a wish from a genie, well, you open a book, especially a non-fiction book, and you'll probably, by the time you get to the end of it, will have come away from 10 other non-fiction book recommendations. That's what happens in reading. It's an awesome thing. Number 5 is fitness. Your wealth is your health at the end of the day. That's not a quote by me. Fitness is the key to getting more years in your life and living over 100, which would be nice. But the thing that everyone misunderstands is that they think they have to pick a type of exercise that they hate doing. For example, if you hate running, then why are you doing it? What you need to do is find a form of exercise that you absolutely love. Maybe it's rock climbing, maybe it's football, maybe it's tennis, maybe it's kayaking, maybe it's even gardening, which can be a form of exercise. It can be quite tough actually. So find what you love, because if you find exercise and fitness you enjoy doing, you're way more likely to do it, and you're way more likely to do it daily, which is the main thing here. And the thing is, when you start exercising, your mental health and your physical health is improved. Someone said that if the benefits that you get from exercise were available to be sold in a drug that you could buy in a pharmacy, that would be the top selling drug you could get on the planet. And it's true. It's going to be so good for your mental health. On days when I'm feeling anxious and I go for a run, I feel so much better. I feel energized. I feel more focused at work. My relationships are better. I'm less grumpy. I'm more happy. Life feels more meaningful. And your physical form will start to look more attractive in the conventional sense. And that's just a byproduct of exercise. And also though, it gives your skin a lovely glow. And if you're mentally feeling happier, that will physically make you look happier and more attractive as well. And you might be thinking, wait, like exercise, fitness is just a necessity. It's not a skill. It actually is a skill. Whatever type of exercise you pick, there will be a skill in doing that form of exercise properly. When I started running, because I enjoy running, I thought it was literally just putting one foot in front of the other for a long time. And I couldn't be further from the truth. 3 marathons later, and having achieved a sub 3.5 hour marathon, I've realized that I couldn't have achieved that sub 3.5 marathon if I didn't work on the skill of proper form in running, if I didn't work on my nutrition, if I didn't do tempo and interval training and long distance running and zone 2 running and all these different elements. So fitness 100% is a skill. There's just many different types of exercise, and each one of those is a skill within themselves. So pick one that you love doing and try and do it every day. Number 6 is investing. Also, this isn't financial advice at all whatsoever, but one thing I'm really grateful I have done in my life was as soon as I started to earn consistent money and I had a disposable income, I put a little portion aside to invest. Now, saving is great in a normal savings account, but investing, you get the benefit of compound interest, which is an amazing thing. The crazy thing is only 15.5% of British adults have a stocks and shares ISA, which is 8.2 million people. And I'm no money expert, but what I've found in my investing and picking a reliable index fund that someone like Warren Buffett has recommended, I've had a way higher return of investment than I ever would have done if I picked your everyday savings bank account. That's just my personal experience. So a couple of books I would recommend is if you're in the UK, there's a great book called Money by Laura Waitley. She not only talks about investing, but sort of understanding money as a whole as a British person living in the UK. And then there's another great book called I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. This has quite a big USA focus on it, but I've read it and it's applicable to any country as well. A couple of really good books. Get educated in it because at the end of the day, when you invest, your money is at risk. There is a risk there. I follow the Warren Buffett advice. Pick some index funds you trust and you've researched and invest in the long term. So we're aiming to invest for the decades instead of the next few months. And the 7th and last skill is join a club. I know this one seems like a bit of a reach. It's a bit vague. What do you mean? How's that a skill? But having a community is so good for your longevity, reaching over 100 years, hopefully, but also when we have a strong sense of community, it's going to help us improve at that skill and other areas of our life. You make friends and just lots of different aspects of your life are improving quite quickly. Now, when you join a club, you might not know anyone at first, and that's okay, and that can be a bit scary, but do it anyway. And even if it takes you a few weeks of going to the club consistently to make friends, it will be worth it. The key here is to pick something you enjoy. Pick a skill that you've always wanted to learn, or a skill that you already do and really enjoy, and you want to sort of share that experience with others or make some new friends or just do it more. And then find a club in your local area by using Google or social media and go to the club. Yes, there will probably be a fee, but usually it's absolutely worth it. And pursuing something that you are genuinely interested in is not only going to make you better at that skill, but it's also going to make you a way more interesting person to be around. And by the way, I have a free weekly newsletter that's only like a 3-minute read where I give you more tips on how you can improve your life. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, then go sign up using the link in the description. So what skill are you going to start with first? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear. If you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to absolutely love this video here, so go watch that. And if you want to stay in touch with little old me, then hit that subscribe button and even the bell if you're feeling cheeky. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you soon.